Just a few weeks into this USL Championship season, both Las Vegas Lights and El Paso Locomotive still looking for win number one of this young season. We come to you from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Tonight's match is presented by Liuna 872 Laborers Union with former pro striker Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. And yes, we are early in this season, but both of these teams looking to get things going. Las Vegas, 2 games and 2 losses. For El Paso, they've already played 3 games, all at home, but just 1 draw to show for it. And we are in an international break currently, which means players missing on both sides of the field.
And we'll start with the visitors here, El Paso Locomotive. You go down this list, and each player at a different line for Brian Clairhart, they're missing. So you talk about players that are going to come in and take this opportunity and get the responsibility. On the other side, for Las Vegas Lights, Alba scored last time against FC Tulsa. So who's going to be the player that steps up and puts the ball in the back of the net for the home side?
Well, a player who stepped up and scored in week 1, scored the first goal of the entire season in the league, is Valentin Noel.
And he's such a special player. What Dennis Sanchez likes to do, playing between the lines, can score goals, can give assists. But the question is for Las Vegas Lights is how quickly can he get in a rhythm, because Valentin Noel needs to be very good here at home.
On the other side for El Paso, there will be no Jamali Waite, as we mentioned, so it's Javier Garcia stepping in.
I think he needs to be confident. You play into this game the first 10 to 15 minutes, get your footing right, secure the ball. If you can get a ball back to you, how do you connect your first pass? It's not an easy feat for a goalkeeper to come in. First start for El Paso for Javier Garcia.
We are building you up to first kick tonight from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. The sun is shining. It is a beautiful night for some soccer. It's Las Vegas Lights and El Paso Locomotive. We will have lineups in first kick coming up next.
AIS is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas Lights Football Club.
Hey, bud. This doing nothing all day isn't good.
You should be out making friends.
Lots of friends.
Why? Huh? Because I'm not enough? By myself? Because you would love me more if I was always bringing over new money friends?
Yes.
It's called earning dividends, dear.
Get your money working with amazing certificate rates now at AmericaFirst.com.
Desert Radiology is the area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and diagnostic care. We're proud to offer 11 conveniently located imaging centers across the valley. As a member of the community for over 50 years, Desert Radiology is proud to be the official imaging partner of the Las Vegas Lights. To learn more, visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
Tonight's match is presented by Laborers International, Great Clips, and Nevada Donor Network. Back here in Las Vegas, teams taking to the field here tonight. It's the Las Vegas Lights playing host to El Paso Locomotive. Excited for this one as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups. They are presented by Liuna 872 Laborers Union. And for the Las Vegas Lights, bit of a change here for Dennis Sanchez.
And it starts with the 2 center backs. Garcia's going to slot in right next to Emra Clemento and Ngando. He's going to be that single pivot who's going to play right in front of that back four. Noel and Gannon, what does their work rate look like in terms of supporting that front line? And Bennett, he's going to be the one occupying the back 3 for El Paso Locomotive.
And on the other side for El Paso Locomotive, Brian Clairhout missing a few players due to injury, so a few adjustments for him.
And I do think it starts with the wide ears, whether it's Nick Hines, whether it is Lucas Stauffer, their work rate on both sides of the ball and providing the width. So you have Calvillo and Rose, the ability to break through lines. Justin Dillon, he's going to be the target number 9, so look for Moshe Bond to slot onto the right-hand side, and Arun Bosulovic, he might play as a number 10. A very crafty player, and if you're Brian Clairhout, the first 10 to 15 minutes here, if you can get an opening goal, it's going to be a very good day for the visitors.
There is our referee this evening. It is Thomas Snyder who has the whistle. And we are moments away from getting this one underway. There's JC Ingando. It will be Las Vegas in white and El Paso in blue. Both these teams have struggled to score goals in the early going. And both these teams also looking for win number 1 in 2024. Breeze whipping through here at Cashman Field. There's the whistle, and here we go. It's the Las Vegas Lights and El Paso Locomotive. A windy day, 66 degrees here in Las Vegas. Wind gusts up to 31 miles per hour. And you're already seeing it playing havoc here with that kick from the back. El Paso Locomotive coming off a 1-0 loss last time out against Louisville. They also played a friendly against FC Juarez in the midweek. On the other side for Las Vegas, a 3-1 loss against Tulsa. They did get a goal in that game, just their second goal of the season. Already a foul. Here's Clementa. Fabian Garcia, number 4, getting his first start for Las Vegas as this goes out of play. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Silver State Schools Credit Union.
And we talk about it for Dennis Sanchez, just win that midfield battle, because we talk about what El Paso likes to do. They like to get on the ball and dictate tempo. And for the visitors, how clinical can you be in front of the goal? You talk about 3 games, 0 wins, 1 goal scored. It needs to be better in the final third.
Both of these teams looking for that final third at the moment. But for El Paso, this is a bit of a common trend over the last few years, these slow starts. Just 1 win in their opening 5 games last year. They only had 1 win in their opening 7 in 2022. But they say at a certain point it starts to become a trend, and I know there's been a few managers that have come in. This is Brian Clairhout's now 2nd year in charge, but at some point, you got to get things going from the beginning. Otherwise, you're playing from behind the whole season, which is how they played last year.
I think you look at what El Paso did in the offseason. It's very difficult to find even a better offseason with the talent that Brian Clairhout brought in, but that's all good and dandy. But how do you get that to be productive in terms of goals, in terms of wins, and in terms of assists? We haven't seen that talent come out on game day yet. But you talk about players that can make a difference. How quickly can they play in the system that Brian Clairhout wants to implement here? That's going to be the question for El Paso Locomotive.
El Paso so far, 1-0 loss against Hartford, 1-1 draw against Monterey Bay, and a 1-0 loss against Louisville. There have been a lot of goals to go around in their games, but they will have a free kick here. Eric Calvillo brought down. Set piece opportunity for the Locomotive. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Desert Radiology. Fortunately, it's pretty long on both sides. Brandon Craig, it sounds like, has a high ankle sprain. The big low knee coming in from the Philadelphia Union, U.S. under-20 player. He'll be sidelined for a little bit. He also has to miss potentially national team call-ups with that injury as well, with the Olympics looming this summer. Stauffer runs away from it. In swinger, and wow, that's friendly fire. Fabian Garcia and Raiko Arozarena. That is going to hurt.
To be fair, confident goalkeeping, put the traffic oncoming. Arozarena Hopefully he's okay. We talked about Jamali Wade on international duty, so big opportunity for the goalkeeper between the sticks for the Lights here.
We just mentioned Lucas Stauffer's name, former Las Vegas Lights player from a year ago. Stauffer now joining up with El Paso, 34 appearances, 3 goals last year for Stauffer. Was a very influential player for the Lights in 2023. Here's Tony Alfaro, well-traveled Tony Alfaro. His first season with El Paso, last year with the LA Galaxy. Noah Dollenmeyer, former LAFC man. And some good pressure here in the middle from Las Vegas, trying to win this back. Dumped all the way downfield, and Arozarena is onto this. New number 9 for El Paso this year as well. No Lucho Solignac. Is Justin Dillon. The last few years has been with San Antonio, part of that title-winning team a few years ago. Olu Akinyode. Like a decent amount of new players on both sides. Obviously the Las Vegas side completely new. Not one player on the team from last year. Maybe a chance to break. It's Joe Zhao bursting through the middle. But to get away from one challenge, Zhao clattered into, play on. Smart plays it back. Back for Smart. Tries to cut it across. Alfaro there to block it out of play. That's exactly what Vegas is looking for from Joe Zhao.
Just the ability to be direct and vertical with his movement. We've seen how explosive he's been over the course of his career. How do you get him going in the final third? That's going to be a big question for Dennis Sanchez, but good early start here for Joe Zhao and the Las Vegas Lights.
Welcome to the 2024 USL Kickoff presented by Terminix. Throughout the month of March, the USL will be kicking off across the country. Join us for all the action on ESPN and CBS Sports platforms.
It's interesting, Josh, because you look at the back four for Las Vegas Lights. Emma Clemente, who's on the ball right now, is right-footed by trait. Fabian Garcia is left-footed by trait. Really interesting as Clemente's playing the left side, Garcia's playing on the right side. Watch out here.
Here's Joe Zhao, a heavy touch, but he might get onto it. Sliding challenge, Alfaro went in. It looked like he got that one clean, and it's put out for an El Paso throw-in. Zhao obviously thinking otherwise.
We've seen his ability to cause problems. This is a heavy touch with his knee. We'll take a look at it here as Alfaro goes down, and I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of Joe Zhao, not a lot of the ball. I do think there is an argument to be had if you're the Las Vegas Lights. It should be a point to the pen. Alfaro, you talked about the experience that he's had. He knows better when he leaves his feet. He needs to be extremely sure. And I do think he gets away with one here.
Alfaro, who has been with LA Galaxy, New York City, DC, Seattle, Chivas, and also with Reno in the past in the USL. It did look like it was almost knee to knee there. Maybe El Paso getting away with one. Alfaro, and the experienced pro that he is, sold it well that, no, I didn't take anything of Joe Zhao. Here's Smart. Brian Clairhout saying this week that the starting group played about 30 minutes against Juarez in the midweek. They got some youth players on and got out healthy, which was the big key for the team. Said it was good for the community to come together and be able to watch League MX side in El Paso, Texas. But now they turn their attention back to the league, where they're looking to get things started here. Vegas trying to avoid an 0-3 start. All the way into the corner now for Justin Dillon. Smart gets something on it, and a corner kick on the way for El Paso. Lucas Stoffer, an in-swinger, it's headed up and over. Michael Rosarena could not get to that. A lot of traffic right in front of the goal mouth.
As Dollenmeyer stepped into the lineup, he provides you the physical presence to get on the end of it. And I'll tell you, that's 6 yards inside your defensive box. If you're a Rosarena, you have to have the ability to command that territory.
Rosarena, who's been on loan spells, you see the foul. He's linked up here with Las Vegas Lights. Last 3 years been with Tampa Bay, but 2022 loaned out to Forward Madison in USL League One.
We've seen already how dangerous El Paso Locomotive can be with set pieces, whether it is Timmy Moshaban or Lucas Stoffer standing over. The quality of service is going to be key for the visitors here tonight.
Now trying to head this into the path of Coleman Gannon, but was in an offside position. We talked with Dennis Sanchez this week about the Tulsa game. He said he was positive even with the result. So there's progression and we're focusing on the process. But this really stuck out to me. He said it's still preseason mode, and that's very tough. Everything was very condensed, first of all, for this Las Vegas side. He was hired end of January, early February, and pretty much a week after he was hired, they went straight into preseason. They've been signing players pretty much all throughout the past month and a half or so, putting this together. But Dennis Sanchez says he was very intrigued by this project, a blank slate, and especially what Jose Bautista had at the disposal of him for this Las Vegas Lights side. And it's coming together, albeit a little bit slow. Stoffer trying to get a shot away, may have been deflected, so Rosarena scoops it up. Gondo recently coming in on loan from the Vancouver Whitecaps. Did make 8 first-team appearances for the last couple of years. But here's Eric Calvillo for El Paso, looking to put this in the path of Justin Dillon. The cutback for Calvillo. Back for Dillon, who got himself back on side.
And he's been very active for El Paso Locomotive here. Justin Dillon just runs down the channel. That's not a good sign as Arun Vasilovic goes down.
He's got the mask on, and now he's holding his right leg.
Something you don't want to see if you're a fan of the visiting team. Non-contact whatsoever. And he's a very interesting player for Brian Clairhout. Much like Valentin Noel for the Las Vegas Lights, likes to play in between lines, very technically sound, very crafty player, but has dealt with some injury issues in the past.
Last couple years on the books of Monterey Bay, before that with OKC Energy, former New York Red Bull Academy player. Drop ball from Thomas Snyder to get us back underway. Looks like Vasilovic will be coming back on. Good news for El Paso. Garcia gets this away.
You already see the high pressure coming from the lights. So if you're El Paso, how clean can you be at breaking lines of pressure and creating triangles, especially in the center part of the field? You just want to give your three center backs just an outlet to play in between. Another side for that, if you're the lights, that front line goes, nice little move there from Ngando.
Thought he was fouled, but Coleman Gannon picks it up anyway. Advantage being played. Baruman. Fabian Garcia. It's his first start of 2024 after Hayden Sargis was recalled from his loan just yesterday for DC United. Important player for Las Vegas. They will no longer have. Here's Smart. Sargis actually on the bench tonight for DC United, and that's a reason for recalling him, some of the injuries and issues they've had on their back line. And unfortunately, domino effect falls here to the lights and Dennis Sanchez. An experienced player like Fabian Garcia is a good player to have step right in. Here's Calvillo. Cross floated up, it's headed down. No issues at all for Las Vegas.
And it's a good idea here from Justin Dillon, but there's just no secondary action from Tumi Moshaban. If you're crashing that back post, it's an easy tap in. When you have a target number 9, the secondary actions are that much more important, whether it's underneath, whether it's running in beyond. You always want to play off of Justin Dillon. In that instance, Tumi Moshaban just gets caught flat-footed. One back moments ago, Dennis Sanchez on the sideline was very livid with Ngando, because those front three are pressing together, but he's just staying about 20 yards back. And that's going to be key for not only Las Vegas Lights, but every single team in USL Championship. If that front line goes, that midfield line has to be behind them. You want to press when you're compact.
Stauffer will track this down, or he won't get there. It's out for a corner kick. Ngando played 90 minutes last week against Tulsa, but before that, actually got in for 13 minutes in the first leg for Vancouver in their Champions Cup round 1 first leg against Tigres. Now a corner kick on the way for El Paso. Tumi Moshaban. Our Lansing Ignite products. The in-swinger is headed away. Here's Garcia. Lay this off. Akinyone coming forward. Deflection on the way through. And they will bring this back. Didn't sound like there was a whistle. He couldn't hear it.
And I do think Ngando is a very important player for the Lights. Just the ability in tight spaces, but also the vision. Yes, it's a handball from Eric Calvillo, but you just see the real estate on that far end. for Samake. If that ball goes through, it's a really good opportunity for the Las Vegas Lights. The other side of it, if you're Bolu Akinyoni and you step off your line, yes, you're a center midfielder by trait. You have to be very sure that you have coverage behind you. You can't leave yourself exposed, especially when you're playing a back three.
Collected in the middle. Trying to play right through it. Gondo. Smart now for Joe Zhao. Sean Smart. The chest of Coleman Gannon and cleared away. Down the line, Zhao on the chase. Joe Zhao, the cross to the back post. There's a header in there for Corey Bennett. Dollenmeyer was just trying to get back and put him off, and he did just enough.
We talked about being compact. Look how easy this is for Las Vegas Lights just to carve through the center of the park. For El Paso Locomotive, it's a good ball from Joe Zhao, just telling his big man Corey Bennett to go up and get it. Just mistimes his jump. Joe Zhao has been causing all sorts of problems to El Paso Locomotive and their back line.
Here's Baruman. He's impressed in these opening few games for Las Vegas. An assist for him in the first goal of the season. And here comes Noel, lost his balance. Coleman Gannon trying to take it off Dollenmeyer as it trickles out for a throw-in. Dollenmeyer, a huge presence on that back line.
It's just so easy, Josh. Just watch the lack of tracking in the center of the park for El Paso Locomotive. That's your center midfielder, Valentin Noel. He outruns about 3 players in a blue jersey. And that forces Bolu Akinoti to come across and rotate over and put a last-ditch defending effort.
Missed touch there at the back by Garcia. Can he recover? Tumi Moshoban. Is it centrally? Clementa cleared it away. It's still available here for El Paso. Alfaro and Calvillo. It started as a breakaway. It's now turned into a sequence of possession here for El Paso. Could not keep that in play. Nick Hines. Hines has had quite a soccer journey in his career, his 3rd season with El Paso, but this is played in behind. Bennett trying to get around the keeper. Garcia eventually scoops it up. Took it right off the foot of Corey Bennett. Just his 2nd start in the USL Championship for El Paso, and a huge play here.
Fantastic ball from Ngando, but then it's a little bit too casual from Corey Bennett. Not once, but twice. You take that touch wide, it needs to be a shot on target immediately. But I've been so impressed with Ngando, the ability to play on both sides of the ball, clog passing lanes, but also can unlock a back line. He's been spectacular for Las Vegas Lights 24 minutes in. And that was going to be a key for El Paso Locomotive, is to be clinical. When we talk about being clinical, we always think about being the attacking 18-yard box, but defensively, we have to be marks. They have to be a little bit tighter. Too many times you're getting beat from a direct ball. If you're that back three, Dollenmeyer, Akinyoti, and Alfaro, how compact can you be at keeping everything in front of you? But give credit to Garcia. He comes off his line extremely quick as well. He closes down any sort of angle for Corey Bennett.
movement under some pressure. Now Clementa deflected out of play. Well, be sure to join us back here April 6th at Cashman Field against San Antonio FC, 7:30 Pacific time. Visit lightsfc.com to purchase your tickets today. Paso has dominated this series and on the front foot in this game today. A whistle and a free kick. Another good spot here for El Paso.
A nice little battle between Smart and Nick Hines. Both very attack-minded. You see Smart just brings down his left arm for Nick Hines. And once again, Tumi Moshaban sending over this ball. And you have to take the wind into factor, so you want to hit it about head height with a lot of pace behind it. Aiming for right on top of that 6-yard box, just to cause a little bit of confusion and chaos in the Lights' defensive 18-yard box.
Moshaban touches this into play. Stoffer, high lofted ball. Rosarena punches away, but Sulovic had the attention of a Rosarena.
Just a little bit too much air underneath this ball from Lucas Stoffer. Rosarena has been very good coming off his line. He punches it up and away. But watch how kindly it falls to Arun Vasulovic. Hits it so clean and so pure. And saying what does not miss by much. But when you play against a keeper that is so confident coming off his line with the traffic oncoming, you don't want to put a lot of air underneath it. It gives him the ability just to read the flight and step off his 18-yard box.
Moshaban trying to flick that along. Rose collects in the middle, gets it right back and feeds Calvillo. Dylan making the run ahead. It slipped in behind. Rosarena's there. Dylan may have been offside. It would have been close. Rosarena collects.
Really good action for El Paso Locomotive here. Just watch the spacing as Lucas Stoffer's high and wide. That opens up gaps between the players of Las Vegas Lights. Whether it is Nick Hines, whether it is Lucas Stoffer, just their positioning causes a lot of problems for the opposing outside backs because Smart needs to make a decision. Watch out here.
Samake coming forward. Dollenmeyer had him equal for pace. It's put out for a corner kick for Las Vegas.
And it's the same thing going back the other way. As players stay high and wide, if you're a wide defender, you have to make a decision. Do you stay compact with your two center backs, or do you go out to your opposing player? And if you elect to stay wide, that's when gaps can open up and you can play between on the center of the field.
Valentin Noel gets it up in that wind, floats away. Sean Smart sends it well out of play. Just the second shot of the game for Las Vegas so far.
Come on. Right there, hold the line. Watch it, just watch it. It's okay, it's safe.
Stoffer trying to take it off Samake. That will go El Paso's way.
Hurry, lower. Coleman higher.
Calvillo. Basulovic turns it out wide. Stoffer tries to cut it back. It was Clementa who was getting back defensively. It'll be a throw-in for El Paso. Stoffer. Back for Basulovic. Basulovic trying to get the best of Samake. Now Stoffer lifts it in. Just floated up there too much for Rosarena. A new era of USL kicks off in April. Join us Saturday, April 6th on CBS as Louisville City takes on Indy 11 at 4 p.m. Eastern at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, kicking off the first ever national broadcast of the USL on the CBS networks. Excited for that one coming up. Another edition of Lipa FC. You know what it stands for?
No.
Then tune in to find out. I'm sure Mike Watts and Devin Kerr will be all over it. Here's Joe Chow.
Louisville, Indy. That's all I got.
Approximation, association, football contest. You're close. You got it started.
A for effort.
Here's Clementa. Fabian Garcia. Joe Zhao. Trying to slide this in was Ingando coming off his line. Garcia. Big stop to deny Bennett. Vegas getting in good spaces, and they're knocking on the door.
Well, once again, it's a carbon copy of moments ago. Brilliant one run from Corey Bennett. Just slashes across Bolu Akinyoti. Then Garcia once again comes off his line very fast, makes himself big. It's a right arm that denies Bennett. But if you are the three center backs for El Paso Locomotive, number one, rotation needs to be a lot better. Communication as well. Calvillo and Rose, one of them needs to provide that coverage because too many times there is a gap right in front of you. And Gando's just picking you apart.
Hines has his name taken. Yellow card, first of the match shown. Noel and Gannon standing over this.
This happened last game.
Couple of MLS Next Pro champions right there. 2022 and 2023. Valentin Noel curl this in. It's headed away. Chance to put it right back in the mixer. Free header! It's off the post and in! Fabian Garcia! His first start and his first goal! And the Lights lead by a goal to nil! And he's got the moves as well!
Set pieces are a brilliant way to claw yourself back into a game when you've been lacking in productivity in the final third. But just watch every player in a blue jersey, their body position is facing towards the ball. No one peeks over the left shoulder to pick up Fabian Garcia. We highlighted him in the open, how important he would be with his defensive prowess. Gets on the end of it, terrific snap header. Talk about the hips, he's got it. 1-0 Las Vegas Lights.
His debut for Las Vegas Lights, and he is on the board. He's only scored a handful of goals in his USL Championship career. 3 years with Austin Bold, he scored 6. The last 2 years, he's only scored 3 with San Antonio, but he gets one here And the Lights get the first goal of the game. Remember, they also scored the first goal a couple of weeks ago in that season opening loss against Memphis. We'll see if they can hold on this time around. If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the app. And that is Nick Hines coming off the field. Sounds like Miles Lyons has come on. I don't know if it was due to an injury or not, but he just picked up a yellow card. Then we saw him go down the field and send the cross in. Not sure if this is Brian Clairhout just trying to prove a point or whether there was an injury, but it's only 35 minutes in. A chance now to break. Moshoban leads it for El Paso. Slid out wide for Lucas Stauffer. Locked down, corner kick.
And with that substitution, that's going to change things tactically for El Paso Locomotive. Lucas Stauffer is going to shift over to his left-hand side, and Lyons is going to play as the right wing back.
There's Liam Rose, who is down on the field.
It's quick off his line. I do think Ngando catches him on the foul through. There's no ill will there. We just see the numbers that El Paso Locomotive like to commit forward with the two wing backs. Just haven't been clean enough in the final third, lacking that last bit of action, whether it's the ball across, a shot on target.
Here's a look at Nick Hines just moments ago. I don't know if he turned an ankle or something there, but
You saw on the end of that, he just put his hand up. Don't know if it was apologies or signaling for a sub.
Rose back on his feet. Looks like thumbs up, and Rose will look to stay on the field. Rose hobbling back in. Stauffer waiting to send this corner kick away.
Hey, you doing good, man. I heard you.
It's an in-swinging ball, trying to go for that near post. Good service in, and it'll be another one.
It's his fault. He was arguing with somebody else while you were saying shit, man. You're doing good.
Stauffer again, more depth on it, and over everybody's head and out of play. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
Let go! Let go! Good, good. You gotta play direct. You gotta get up. Hey, up, little.
Here's Dollenmeyer. Akinyode. Caught in the feet of Calvillo. He comes away with it. Here's Rose. Rose slips down. Samake trying to keep it. Is it held in between his legs using his knees? That's a new one. Dollenmeyer. Seems like Las Vegas really disrupting what El Paso wants to do in possession, something they're known for.
It's a counter press that's causing all sorts of problems for El Paso Locomotive. But moments ago, as Rose has the ball caught between his legs, you just look at the spacing, it's all off. There's about 5-6 players in a blue jersey, about a 20-yard radius. There's no need for that. It makes life very easy for Las Vegas Lights just to press high, move from left, move from right. There's no one stretching it beyond. Really keeping the two center backs honest. Everything has been in front of the back four for Las Vegas Lights. If you're Brian Clareheart, you want players who have the ability just to unbalance opposition, as we see a foul as Calvillo comes in a little bit overzealous and catches out Gannon.
Berumen, 40 minutes in to this first half. Fabian Garcia's goal, the difference. Smart. There was some contact there with Stauffer, but play on, says the referee. Here is Stauffer. Taken off the ball by Ngando. Alfaro. And off of Joe Chow. Throw in for the Locomotive. Bouncing straight out of play. Seems like El Paso is just off a bit in this first half. Had a decent amount of chances in this game. 5 shots. Right now it's Las Vegas winning the possession battle. Player is down for Las Vegas. Used to be Corey Bennett. On his feet, good to continue on is Bennett. Stauffer trying to go quick, taking a few extra yards, and now we'll throw it back. Here's Stauffer. Touch it infield, Basulovic. The return ball for Moshoban off the mark. Joe Chow. Stumped off Alfaro and out of play. Seems Vegas bending but not breaking defensively in this game thus far. Rosarena will put this back in play as we are into the final minute of the first half. An El Paso side that has struggled to score goals. 1 goal in their opening 3 games, one of 7 teams with 2 or more games played and 1 or none scored. Sulevic through the middle, Moshoban. You look at this roster, you bring in a player like Tumi Moshoban, Arun Basulevic. The talent's there, right now the execution is lacking. Dylan trying to turn. Dylan, it's going to be a foul against Calvillo.
Just not clean enough for El Paso Locomotive in the final third. Too many sloppy touches. It's a clean touch. The speed of play is just a tad bit too slow. And that gives Las Vegas Lights the ability to win these second balls. There's no need, if you're Justin Dylan, to try to spin out of 2 players. I do think it's a second leg that catches Valentin Noel from Eric Calvillo that gets him in trouble. You want to play a little bit more simple, higher up the field, more efficient if you're at Paso Locomotive. We haven't seen a lot of combination play. We haven't seen a lot of balls being pumped into the box from wide areas.
Calvillo moved out wide for Stauffer, who cuts it in. Stauffer has it blocked, and it's cleared away. Here's Dollenmeyer. Moshoban out wide. It's Lucas Stauffer trying to score in his return to Las Vegas. Takes the shot out of play.
El Paso Locomotive are at their best when they start on one side and end on the other. Tumi Moshoban puts this on a platter for Lucas Stauffer, who moments ago elected to go inside. This time he goes left foot, just gets it all wrong. He's leaning back, his balance is off, but he's been a threat on this near side for Brian Clairhout, the Locomotive. That's exactly what the headman wants to do. Overload an essential location with Tumi Moshoban, Eric Calvillo, Liam Rose, and Arun Basulevic. And that leaves the real estate for Lions and Stauffer to operate on wide areas. Once again, just lacking that last bit of quality to really put a Rosarena under some pressure.
Fabian Garcia's goal, the difference. That goal sponsored by the America First Credit Union. Dennis Sanchez looking on. Has to like this first half from his side. They have the goal off a set piece. Done just enough defensively. Stauffer, he won't get there. He's been a workhorse in this first half as Stauffer. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Should be nearing the end of this first half momentarily. And that is the end of the half. Well, Fabian Garcia's goal has been the difference thus far, and it's been a positive first 45 minutes for Las Vegas, but for El Paso, it's kind of been more of the same, and unfortunately for them, it's not been a good thing.
I think if you are Las Vegas and Dennis Sanchez, you have to be very pleased with 2 things, the counter press and the high press. You've been making life very difficult for El Paso Locomotive to get in any sort of rhythm, especially when they like to play out of the back. You get a fantastic goal from Garcia, so how do you build on that in the second half? For the other side, Josh, you talked about it. It's been more of the same for El Paso Locomotive. You've had some glimpses of what this team can be, but how do you do that over a period of 90 minutes, 45 minutes, put this backline under a little bit more pressure? I do think you need to get Justin Dillon involved a little bit more as a target man, because he's been extremely quiet in that first half.
We have reached halftime here from Chapman Field. Tonight's halftime is presented by SNWA. Change your watering clock now to avoid costly water waste fines. It is 1-0 to the home side here at the break as they look to hold on for their first full 3 points of the season. It's Las Vegas Lights 1, El Paso Locomotive 0. Stay with us. Halftime from Vegas.
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Hello, my name is Ramon Martin del Campo, City of Henderson police officer and former Las Vegas Lights team captain. My mother, Susie, desperately waited for a second chance after years of fighting kidney disease. Through a paired kidney exchange program, she was able to receive the gift of life through transplant. Currently, about 85% of Americans waiting need a kidney transplant. I am a living kidney donor. Nevadans are giving. Join us at wearenevadans.org.
At Comprehensive Cancer Centers, the most advanced treatments and breakthrough research are helping our patients thrive. But some of our most powerful treatments are preventative. This begins together in our community through awareness, outreach, education, and support. From healthier living and self-checks to screening for early detection, we can now find and treat some cancers before they strike. We're doing this together, Southern Nevada, and teamwork saves lives.
Tonight's match is presented by Southern Nevada Water Authority, La Bonita, Silver State Schools Credit Union, and Comprehensive Cancer Centers. A good one here in Vegas, and we'll take a look back at this week's goal and save of the week in the USL Championship.
Number 8's there, but it falls on the edge of the box, and what a strike! And it's 2-0 to FC Tulsa. Goodrum. Oh, they can hear him now, and this outstanding start for the visitor.
Do all the hard work and get yourself an opportunity where you can switch the field of play. Take that opportunity instead of going back.
There's a shot, and the stop is made. Boy, Carrera had to be sharp, and he was. He went vertical.
Fortunately for Vegas fans, that goal of the week against the Lights from last week. Tonight's halftime presented by SNWA. Change your watering clock now to avoid costly water waste fines. Halftime from Vegas, it's 1-0 to Las Vegas Lights.
Go get it, Doug.
When termites show up, So do we. Terminix it.
You've given us a foundation to be proud of. We build on this now. This is it now, gents. This is us from now on.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Yeah, we running the game. We're coming in strong, and you will not forget it. We're here to take you on, and we can fight and we defend it. We never looking back, we focused on the road. We didn't come to play, and now we never let it go. Yeah, we want to take it higher.
Follow up in! Louisville level in the 70th. He puts it in. Indy 11 leads on the road.
Yeah, we want to take it higher.
Looks great.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Desert Radiology is the area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and diagnostic care. We're proud to offer 11 conveniently located imaging centers across the valley. As a member of the community for over 50 years, Desert Radiology is proud to be the official imaging partner of the Las Vegas Lights. To learn more, visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
Halftime is presented by SNWA. Change your watering clock now to avoid costly water waste fines. 1-0 to Las Vegas Lights at halftime. And it's time for news and notes around the USL Championship. Brooklyn Football Club, they're coming to the championship in 2025, but I know you were doing that game, Pittsburgh and Louisville. Canardo Forbes, 265 appearances.
Just massive what he means to the Riverhounds and just a constant professional he's been and how he's gone about his business. You see he moves into second all-time for the Riverhounds, and Rafael Baca talking about a player who is important to what Frank Yallop and company are trying to do, dictates tempo. And this is, we see the team of the week, Zach Ryan, Medcar, they've been massive for Ryan Martin and Loudoun United. Jack Wake is scoring for fun at this moment in time. Clay Halstad coming over from Columbus to Crew 2. He's been massive. We talk about the talent, but I say it every time, Josh, there needs to be an Eastern Conference Team of the Week and a Western Conference Team of the Week.
Okay.
I think because there's so much talent in the USL Championship, that's the only way to go.
All right, I am for that. I'll get behind that with you, Ricky.
Love it.
If you're signing the petition, I will put my signature down. Speaking of Charleston, they're up 2-0 over New Mexico. And plenty of other score lines around the league. Louisville, big win over Pittsburgh.
Massive for Danny Cruz, just the way they went about their business after going into El Paso, taking all 3 points. Detroit City fending off Loudoun United and Hartford. Don't look now. They have turned the page massively. North Carolina and Tampa Bay Rowdies, 1-1.
Brendan Burke has gotten them going. A few more games to go later on tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow, Monterey Bay, Rhode Island should be a fun one.
That one's going to be very interesting. First road trip for Connor Smith and Rhode Island FC. What does that look like going across country? And then North Carolina next Friday hosting Hartford Athletic. Phoenix Rising Oakland Roots paying a visit to reigning champions.
The upcoming schedule is presented by Advanced Imaging Solutions. One company, many solutions. Home away or away home. That's how it goes pretty much for Las Vegas upcoming.
I think that makes this next 45 minutes so much more important for Dennis Sanchez. How do you hold on to this lead? Because it's not an easy task going to the Oakland Roots next time out. And then you welcome San Antonio FC, and we know how good they've been over the past years in the Western Conference.
Now we are building you up to the second 45 minutes of action. Halftime is presented by SNWA. Change your watering clock now to avoid costly water waste fines. We'll have the second half and highlights on the other side.
All right, team. I'm not angry. I want to know who broke this. I want to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. We found this tangled up in the transfer rollers. Who did this?
AIS is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas Lights Football Club.
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Let's redo the basement.
Hello, home movie theater.
Spare bedroom.
Why not both? Use the US Bank mobile app to apply for a home improvement loan. It's easy.
Wonderful, Alex.
Hey, that's what US Bank is for. Anything else?
How about a loan for a bigger car?
Our family is growing.
Oh.
Yeah, my brother's moving in with his 5 dogs.
Oh.
Hey-o!
And we're expecting.
Ah.
Expecting what?
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. US Bank. We'll get there together.
Getting set for the second 45 minutes of action. It is 1-0 in favor of Las Vegas Lights. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. These Great Clips brought to you by Great Clips. And we start things off in the 12th minute. And both teams getting some good opportunities in the first half. And it was El Paso's turn to test Raico Rosarena.
And most of their opportunities have came from the wide areas, whether it was the wingbacks, mostly Lucas Stoffer. He's always going to be a threat going forward and has the motor to double back, but this doesn't hit it as cleanly as he would like to trouble Rosarena.
A few minutes later, it would be a chance for Joe Zhao to really get going down this right side.
And he started extremely well. Very vertical, very direct in his movement. Him and Corey Bennett have a very good relationship growing for Las Vegas Lights. Very similar to the way that they like to play. They like to play downhill and they like to put their individual defenders on their heels.
26th minute, free kick for Lucas Stoffer.
Rosarena comes off his line extremely confident. Vasilovic, he hits it well, to be fair, just not on target. It just shows you the technical ability from number 19 in a dark color. Just nearly finds that top corner.
33rd minute, it would be the moment to score the goal for Las Vegas.
And it's going to be a frustrating one for Brian Clarehout because everyone gets caught ball watching. No one man marks Fabian Garcia right at the penalty mark. Steps right in front of Tumi Moshaban and Dollenmeyer. Slow off their mark, but give credit to Ngando. We talked about how good he's been with the ball at his feet. Puts a teasing ball in with a lot of pace on it. Fabian Garcia does just enough and does the rest. Snap header over his right shoulder in the back of the net. Las Vegas Lights walk into halftime 1-0 up.
The stats are brought to you by US Bank. More shots, a little bit more possession for El Paso, but by no means have they been dominant in this game.
They haven't been threatening whatsoever, haven't really put the back line of Las Vegas Lights under any sort of pressure, so I will not be surprised if we see Brian Clarehout go into his bench and bring out a different look. For Las Vegas Lights, defensively, you were spot on, but how do you put a little bit more pressure on Garcia, who's making his first start for El Paso Locomotive? I do think you want to get Corey Bennett involved a little bit more because he's been making very good runs down the channel.
We welcome you back here to Las Vegas. The teams on the field just about ready to go. We are almost set for the second half. The second half kickoff is presented by Comprehensive Cancer Centers. Kick cancer in Las Vegas for more than 40 years. It is El Paso in blue, Las Vegas in white with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you are watching from this evening. Waiting for the full 15 minutes to expire before we get this second half underway. And we are underway. 45 more minutes from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Both these teams looking for win number 1 in 2024. It's been a tough start for both sides. Not a lot of goal scoring to go around either. Vegas has scored now 2 goals coming into play. El Paso has only scored 1. Here's Tony Alfaro. Maybe it may have been lucky to get away with a challenge that could have been a penalty in that first half. Oshoban turning it up and keeping the ball. Here's Basulovic. Working in tight spaces, Arun Basulovic. Gets around the corner. Gets the cross away. And it's into side netting. Rosarena trying to pick out the pass for Joe Zhao. It's headed centrally. Gannon pulled down by Eric Calvillo.
Once again, Calvillo, the left arm over the right shoulder of Gannon. He's been late on quite a few instances in the middle of the field.
This play in the middle. And now it's Stoffer trying to put it in the path of Calvillo. This thump clear. Dennis Sanchez talked to us this week about what training has looked like. They've really just been trying to put this all together over the last few weeks and months. He said he's a big, quote, us guy, meaning it's all about developing the identity and how much they want to be protagonists in the game. It's the word he used quite a few times. Maybe it's not quite the Mark Lowry El Paso of old where they like to have the ball for 70% of the time, but El Paso likes to be on the ball. And there's no doubt Las Vegas has disrupted that tonight. The game plan has worked out quite well thus far. And now it's whether they can hold on to this lead. Baruman coming forward. Baruman weaving through. It's Lions who punched it away, and the shot by Coleman Gannon is just wide. It took a deflection. It's a corner kick.
Just comes off of sloppy turnover from Dolenmeyer. And it's a, once again, really good move from Baruman, who's an attacking outside back. This gives you a different option going forward. But just look at the lack of numbers for El Paso Locomotive. That's your left-sided wingback coming across in front of your back three underneath your two center midfielders. There's no rotation whatsoever. Lucas Soffer does just enough to throw off Gannon. Big opportunity miss for the Lights.
He touched in for Samake towards the top of the area. And Gondo is looking for goal. Took a big deflection. Vasulovic. Quignore gets it away. Zhao down the line. Sliding challenge put in by Tony Alfaro. He's been a tough nut to crack on this back line.
Next line, Bell. We got Eddie there. Eddie, stay connected. Stay connected.
Coleman Gannon. Trying to play it towards the back post. Sliding challenge put in. It's out for a throw-in. Meyer that time putting it out. El Paso doing a good job just to keep it in this area of the field. Really testing El Paso in the early going in this second half. Meyer this time ushers it out for a goal kick. Paso has never lost at Cashman Field. They've won all 3 meetings here. Trying to get to the end line now. Challenge put in, and it's a goal kick. Tony Alfaro again. Joe Zhao is asking the AR why he made that decision. I think it's more of a one-way conversation, though.
And it's the 3rd time on Joe Zhao. Alfaro is elected to leave his feet. Tight one there, right in front of our slide referee. That is a right call in the end. Does take off the last deflection of Joe Zhao. But Alfaro doesn't need a second invitation to put in a hard challenge.
Those two have come together a few times now in this game. 2 very experienced pros. Zhao, 31. Alfaro at 30. Both long careers in MLS and even outside of this country. Look at Dennis Sanchez. It's the 2nd home game this year for Las Vegas. Trying to get a win in front of the home fans. Trying to get the first win of his head coaching career. We talked about it ahead of that first game against Memphis. You look at all these players that Vegas has assembled and you say, all right, like that's a solid roster they put together. Now it obviously will take some time for it to all come together. The pieces you feel like are in place, and Dennis Sanchez seems ready for this job.
I think in a sense you can say the same for El Paso Locomotive, right? With all the players that they brought in the offseason, talent never in question, but how do they gel? How do they buy into the culture? That, yes, it's Claire Howell's 2nd year. That's a good ball.
Samake couldn't get a shot away. Took some time. That one was on target, but right at Garcia.
Just slows it down just a tiny bit. Samake not decisive enough. About 25 yards out. But Valentin Noel, a player that we highlighted, was so good against Memphis. Hasn't really had much of the ball in this match tonight, but hits it pure and hits it clean. Once again, straight at Garcia. Talk about the balance for both of these sides in the center of the park.
Chance there for Moshoban. It was blocked down, and Arozarena keeps it in play. Samake keeps it moving down the line. Noel just couldn't keep it.
And it's better defensively for El Paso Locomotive in terms of just a recovery run from a center midfielder. This time it's Liam Rose that understands Zollenmeyer. And Lions are getting caught out, so I have to have the ability to make the run with Valentin Noel. He gets rewarded, causes a turnover. Now El Paso Locomotive are on the ball once again.
Play this into space. There was some contact between Bennett and Dollenmeyer. Play on. Here's Basulovic. Noel for Coleman Gannon. JC Ngando. Baruman. Noel touching an infield. There was nobody there. Now Rose.
But once again, you just see how tight El Paso Locomotive is. There's about 6 players within 10 yards of each other. Liam Rose looks up. There's no one as an outlet. And once again, you result in giving the ball back to Las Vegas Lights. Little things like that. When you force a turnover, how expansive and how quickly can you be? Just hasn't been clean enough on all sorts for El Paso Locomotive here.
Able to turn it upfield. Moshoban. Options to either side. Moshoban slides it right through the middle. Dylan got a foot onto it, and Rosarena took it right off his foot.
Really good pattern of play from El Paso Locomotive. Just watch the run from Justin Dillon off the shoulder of Garcia. And when he gets to the blind side, that's when he crosses across the back line. Moshoban knows exactly where to put the ball. When Rosarena comes off his line, like you said, Josh, just steals it off the foot of Justin Dillon. To be honest, both goalkeepers have made some big-time saves for their respective clubs.
Substitution coming for El Paso. It's the end of the day for Arun Basulovic. It will be Ricardo Zacharias coming off the bench. 4th season with El Paso after spending a year with the Chattanooga Red Wolves in USL League One. Also 5 years previous in Mexico. Garcia under pressure. Bennett tracking him down, puts it out for a goal kick. Paso looking for something to go their way. Oluwakinyode gains his footing, trying to find Lions. Now Clementa, Baruman. All the way down the line. Another throw in here for El Paso. Rangers Lions. Found the middle as Moshaban was clipped down. Play this all the way down the line and much too far for Joe Zhao. USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Don't forget that game coming up first weekend in April 6th, 4 p.m. Eastern, Louisville City and Indy 11 on CBS. As we pass the hour mark here in Vegas, a 0-0 for the Lights. Fabian Garcia in his Las Vegas debut, heading home the opener back in the 33rd minute. Flying forward there, Baruman to break it up. Here's Dollenmeyer. Gondo. Joe Zhao. For Coleman Gannon. Looking in field. Gannon. Akinyode who broke it up. Calvillo looking to progress the other way. Paso working it forward. Zacharias couldn't get onto it. Garcia stepped in and cleared away.
Just see how compact Las Vegas Lights are in their defensive structure. Only 11 players behind the ball, deep in their defensive half. So if you're a Paso Locomotive, you need to move the ball very quick from side to side. Second thing that needs to happen needs to be more movement on the front line to pull players out of position. So that's when you're looking at players like Moshaban and Dylan to make those selfless runs, so you can get a secondary action.
It's broken up. Gannon going to ground. Did an off-fit. Smart now looking in field. It's cut back. A diving header by Dollenmeyer. Great defensive play by the young center back. Samake. There's a reason he got on the field a few times for LAFC.
It's not next to nose, it's not game plans. This is just pure will from Gannon to win this battle, not once, but twice. And then look at the movement from Bennett. If you're smart, you just need a little bit more composure to pick out a player in a white jersey because there's help coming. As you try to go a little bit too quick, Dollenmeyer does very well to read the flight. Last-ditch defending to deny Las Vegas Lights their second goal. But it just seems like Las Vegas Lights just wanted a little bit more, have a little bit more will to get on the end of things. Whether it was Gannon, whether it was Noel.
Lofted forward for Bennett. Is that off a hand? It was not. Vegas thought they were going to have a free kick just outside the area. Gondo. And now Zhao. Joe Zhao is brought down. And a yellow card will go to Lucas Stauffer.
pace of Jao has been causing all sorts of problems for El Paso Locomotive. As Lucas Stauffer knows he's beat, handful of the jersey. I'll tell you what, I do think it's a very soft yellow card.
Noel. And Gondo. Here's Baruman. Samake. It'll run out of play for a throw-in. One note that we do want to pass along as we look at the lone goal of this game, it has actually been given as an own goal for Javier Garcia. So no official debut goal for Fabian Garcia. As you can see, it bounced off the post, and fortunately Garcia kicks it in.
I'll tell you what, I do think his celebration is rewarded for a goal. Does all the hard
part. Scooped up by Rosarena. Yeah, it was all about the celebration, though. I know you were the big fan of that one. Javier Garcia gets this away. And Gondo and Gannon occupying the same spot. Looked like he had his jersey pulled, and the referee will bring this back. And a substitution coming.
Yeah, you see Liam Rose right in front of our center referee, pulling Ngando's jersey clear as day. As he sees yellow. So now we have Lucas Stauffer and Liam Rose both on a yellow card.
So a substitution coming on. It is Malik Howell on to replace Samake. First sub of the game. Here's Alfaro. And a throw-in going Las Vegas's direction.
Check, 1, 2, check.
Bennett chests it down. And it's cleared away. A few moments ago, it was Bolu Akinyode who had his name taken, not Liam Rose, who was pulling the jersey. As this comes in, the header, oh, what a save! Javier Garcia at full stretch keeps this a 1-0 game.
Valentino was a player that we highlighted the ability to create on his own, but also to bring players into the game. Fantastic ball. Corey Bennett does everything right. Tries to help it onto that far post, but watch the footwork from Garcia. The acrobatics, the athleticism, and the body control. Big bear claw to keep it from going over the goal line. Fantastic save from the goalkeeper.
Just his third appearance for El Paso Locomotive, and now his second season with the club. Played twice last year, once in the Open Cup, once in the regular season. For that, 6 appearances with RGV in 2022.
He's been very impressive, but a player that's also been very impressive has been Corey Bennett. Just his work rate, both sides of the ball, but the willingness to play up the blind side of the two center backs to make those runs in the channel, to stretch out the opposition. Won't show up on the stat sheet, but he's been a handful 70 minutes into this match.
Dollenmeyer. Here's Noel. And a free kick. Clementa sends it through the middle. Dollenmeyer gets his head to it. Ngondo a giveaway. Zacharias thought he was fouled, and the referee agrees with him. Eric Calvillo. In Calvillo, though, this chested down by Malik Howell. Here he comes. Motoring down the right. He'll pull it back. Oluwakinyode back for Javier Garcia. Had to be quick.
Just no intensity. It seems like Locomotive are just flat in terms of their energy.
There's Joe Chow. He is pulled down, and a free kick and a yellow card will go to Noah Dollenmeyer.
Mentioned it once, mentioned it twice, but it just seems like the lights are just up for just a tiny bit more. First to every 50-50 ball, winning their individual duels. Example A, Joe Chow just beats Dollenmeyer. He knows he's beat, so he has to bring him down because it's a transition moment for the home side. So he picks up a yellow card, so 2 out of the 3 center backs now for El Paso Locomotive have seen yellow. Going to be a big challenge for the remainder of this match, 18 minutes plus. But more importantly, a very dangerous set piece as Valentin Noel and Gannon stand over it.
Three-man wall protecting the goal. Valentin Noel, who clips it into the middle. Diving punch by Garcia, and out for a throw-in.
He's been big time for El Paso Locomotive. Garcia, very secure when he comes off his line. This is a goalkeeper decision-making. It's one of, if not the most important thing. You never want to get caught in no man's land. Garcia has done spectacular in that sense.
Cross fired in. Here's Coleman Gannon out to the end line. Goal kick. Be sure to join us back here April 6th at Cashman Field against San Antonio FC with kickoff at 7:30 Pacific time. Visit lightsfc.com to purchase tickets today. Here's Dylan. Zacharias is there with Garcia, and this out of play. Into the final 15 minutes of action here from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Ngando rolls it forward for Joe Zhao, gets it onto his right, and he lifts it over the bar. That's how simple it seems at times it's been tonight for Las Vegas to get forward.
And this came all through Ngando. He's been bossing the middle of the park for Las Vegas Lights. All one-way traffic when he's on the ball. Joe Zhao, once again, his positioning just forcing the issue of Lions. He gets caught a little bit high, uses the momentum against him, and it lets it go into the interior. Just up and over the crossbar, not challenging Garcia. I've been very impressed with Ngando, number 26 for the Lights. It's a very good feel, very good understanding in terms of his positioning, but also just playing what the game gives him.
Zacharias, quick touches, there was contact and was right on the edge of the area. Out towards midfield, Alfaro will track it down for El Paso. Bursting forward is Dylan. He was cut down, it's a free kick. And a yellow card will go to Sean Smart.
Good movement in tight spaces. I do think Liam Rose just goes down far too easily. No foul whatsoever. Looking for it, and this one, Ash Smart just tries to come around. He takes a lot of Dylan. The right leg, the right trailing leg of Justin Dillon gets tangled with Smart. This is a really good opportunity for El Paso Locomotive with 13 plus remaining just to put a little bit of pressure on Rosarena and the back line for the Lights. A plethora of options. About 30 yards out.
Is this a strike at goal?
A little bit too far. Goalkeeper should not get caught cheating from this distance. Brian Clairhout, I'm telling Tumi Moshaban just to whip this ball in as an in-swinger right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark, and let your big players, Justin Dillon, Dallenmeyer, Akanyod, run onto it and just flick it on. Any sort of contact, any sort of deflection, the ball can end up in the back of the net.
Moshaban will go for goal. It's the wrong side of the post.
He hits it well. Alexa go around the wall, but just not enough bend to get it on the inside of that near post.
Nice sub, it'll be the youngster, the 18-year-old Diego Abarca will come on to replace Noah Dallenmeyer. And this will be the last sub of the game. All 3 windows have now been used by Brian Clairhout. Abarca, the first Academy player to ever start a game back in 2021, the youngest El Paso player to score a goal, and in his 4th season with El Paso Locomotive. Down in the middle, Ngando. Just his second game for Las Vegas, but as you mentioned, he has impressed in this game. It's Joe Zhao. Valentin Noel. And we can tell you Tony Alfaro picked up a yellow card before that last free kick was taken. He is into the book now. Joe Zhao. Is that a handball? It's out for at least a corner kick. And Zhao wants more.
Just been so impressive. Look how easy he just pops off Lions. Thank you very much. And then the body composure and the awareness just to slip this ball into Joe Zhao. As Bolu Akinyota comes across, would have been very harsh to point to the spot. See his hand is behind his back. Does not make himself bigger whatsoever, but it sinks like that as a center midfielder. How do you turn your defense into offense extremely quick?
Gannon takes it after it was played short. We'll have to keep this in play. Coleman Gannon turning the corner, looking to weave through. Gannon needs some help and finds it with Noel, who lifts it all the way to the back post. Time to settle. Sean, a swing and a miss. Sean Smart played back out to midfield. Lee Cowell fires the cross in, just too far out in front. Noel. Now Zacharias. Abarca. The Lions switches the point of attack. Zacharias on the spin, and then he just decides to pull down a Las Vegas player, and he will have his name taken. Yellow card.
Just no need if you're Zacharias to try to hit the spin in your defensive half. It's silly from an experienced player. You get your pocket pick, and you see yellow. Could be a frustrating one for Brian Clarehout. So he knows better with the quality of the player that he is to never try to do that so deep in their defensive half.
Ngando keeps it alive for the Lights. And this will be brought back. Player down for Las Vegas. Looks to be Baruman. Baruman back on his feet. way to the end line. Joe Zhao cuts it in, plays it to the back post, and his cross was just overcooked.
Been so impressed with Ngondo. Yes, he has the quality on the ball. Yes, he has the vision, but also the work rate. Watch every player in a blue jersey, about 5 are surrounding him. Doesn't connect on that pass, and then he has the ability to win the second ball. It's little things like that. One of the keys for Las Vegas Lights was win that midfield battle, and he's been at the thick of everything. And if you're Brian Clairhart, you're gonna look at the film here, you're gonna be extremely frustrated because you've been beat to every 50-50 ball. Number 26 in white has been single-handedly running the midfield in this match.
He's mostly played with Vancouver Whitecaps MLS Next Pro side, but he's made 8 appearances for the first team. And coming in on loan, he should be a regular starter for this Las Vegas Lights side. And we're seeing it on display of why that is the case.
Once again, Josh, you just see the lack of presence in the middle of the field. Whether it is Rose, whether it is Calvillo getting caught way too high. Just look where the referee is, about 20 to 15 yards between lines.
Zacharias pulled down or not. He fell on the ball, which means it's a handball. I don't know if you're a lip reader, Ricky. Zacharias did not agree with this one.
And I agree with Zacharias. Clemente comes into the backside. It's a foul. It should be El Paso Locomotive ball. So you do feel for the frustration of the sub coming in for the visitors. Been a couple times our center referee has made some questionable decisions.
In field, trying to return it for Moshoban, and now Valentin Noel running back the other way. Noel put out a play, throw in coming for Las Vegas Lights as they just look to see this out. Now Las Vegas will have a corner kick. Fourth corner kick of the game coming for Las Vegas. Noel just touches this into play. I'll do it again. Time wasting already working out here for for Las Vegas. El Paso 5-2 all time in this series. They've never lost at Cashman Field. 3 wins. And they'll do it again. More seconds ticking off the clock.
Really clever and a bit lucky, Valentin Noel, but watch his head. Head up the whole time, but you give credit to the back line for El Paso, like for like with their runners.
And again, Brian Clairhart said that Monterey Bay was probably the worst performance of the 3. Thought they were pretty good against Louisville and Hartford, at least with their expected goals. Said the best performance was the Hartford game. Said they're close, but tonight has been a tough go of it. This one finally out for a goal kick. And El Paso needing to go quickly now. 5 minutes remain in this game. Is that enough time for El Paso to find a goal? It would be just their second goal of the season. It's already their 4th match. Ryan Clairhout said this team was a bit mentally tired, and they had to play another midweek game this week, albeit a friendly. Noel picks it up. Can Noel put this away? Deflected out. And a corner kick on the way again for the Lights.
Just comes down to effort. Valentino Noel outruns about 4 El Paso Locomotive players. Everyone gets caught ball watching. Everyone's complaining. Zacharias and Alfaro come across to deny the ball into a central location. But it's been the message here today. Las Vegas Lights winning the midfield battle, winning the effort battle once again. I just wanted that little bit more.
It's honestly pretty impressive what Las Vegas is doing just to kill this game off. Almost nothing going forward for El Paso. We're getting corner kick after corner kick. And again. Gannon just holding it in the corner. Finally, El Paso can get this away. Should be a lot of firsts. First win of the season. First win for Dennis Sanchez as head coach. First win in the Jose Bautista era. And a substitution, we'll see Solomon Asante come onto the field. He will replace Sean Smart. Solid 90-plus minute performance tonight for Smart, and did pick up a yellow card. The youngster has played a solid role in the early going for Las Vegas Lights in his first pro season out of Clemson.
Settling very nice in a Las Vegas Lights jersey. A two-way defender, their work rate team player. Dennis Sanchez extremely pleased with Smart and what he's brought to the locker room. And what a player that's going to bring a lot to the locker room as well. Asante, the experience on his end, the success in USL Championship.
Flipped over the top. Moshaban blocked down by Malik Howell and out of play. Here's Asante, the cross bouncing in. Stauffer was there to break it up. Flag was up for offside anyway. Zacharias turns it back. Just lift it in, and we'll go all the way out. And a goal kick on the way, and Vegas can start to sense it now. Just waiting on the final whistle from Thomas Snyder. Is the game over, or did they signal for a sub? Vegas is preparing a substitution. I'm not sure this game is over yet. That is Al Gu, who is waiting to come on. An Academy product who was just signed to a contract today, and it will be Corey Bennett coming off the field. So a debut here for Gu as he comes on. And Gondo, Noel, waiting for the final whistle. Stoffer all the way back. Oh, a big collision with the goalkeeper. And that's the youngster who just came on, and he will get a yellow card. It's one way to welcome yourself on your pro debut. He's in the box score now, Ricky.
Not scared of the moment, is he?
And we continue on, 2 minutes past. And that is it. Las Vegas has their first win of 2024. Dennis Sanchez, his first win as head coach, and a first win in the Jose Bautista era. He's the new owner of this Las Vegas Lights side. They get it done by a 0-0 at home.
From minute 1 to minute 97, the better side wanted it more. The effort was there, and when they got their chances, they made it count. How compact were they defensively? Didn't really give any clear-cut opportunities to El Paso Locomotive, and Agondo, well-deserved man of the match. He was terrific on both sides of the ball.
JC Ngannou, tonight's hardest working man of the match. It's brought to you by Laborers International, the hardest working guys in Vegas. A brilliant performance tonight from Ngannou. It's time for our Save the Game, brought to you by Nevada Donor Network. Remember, you can save a life at registerme.org. And this was a pretty good one from Raiko Rosoena, just taking it right off the foot of Dylan.
Didn't have a lot to do, but when he was asked upon, answered every single question. You see how proactive and how quickly he comes off his line. Really good showing for Rosarena.
There's 2 shots on target tonight for the 10 total from El Paso. Well, we will come back and wrap things up. It's full time from Las Vegas. The Lights beat El Paso by 1-0. Stay with us.
Hola, soy Ramón Martín del Campo, oficial de policía en Henderson y ex capitán del equipo de Las Vegas Lights. Estoy orgulloso de haber sido un donante vivo y que mi madre fue una beneficiada con un riñón. El 85% de los americanos en la lista de espera necesitan un trasplante de riñón. Los nevadenses damos esperanza. Únete a nosotros en wearenevadans.org.
At Silver State Schools Credit Union, we help you celebrate life's little moments and guide you through the big ones. Earn 2% cash back on every purchase with our Cashback Rewards credit card.
Silver State Schools Credit Union, your financial partner for life.
Mi raza bonita. Desde 1991 hemos compartido nuestras tradiciones mexicanas. Desde muy temprano, nuestros panaderos empiezan a elaborar los bolillos y el pan dulce. Y las tortillas todos los días salen calientitas. Le digo algo, mi raza bonita. Lo que está hecho en la bonita, está hecho en Las Vegas.
Tonight's match is presented by America First Credit Union, Desert Radiology, and US Bank. It's time for our post-game highlights. These great clips are brought to you by Great Clips. We look back at the 90 minutes. We start things off in the 33rd minute. Technically an own goal, but Fabian Garcia made this all happen.
Just watch number 4 in the center of your screen, how unmarked he goes about 6 yards before someone decides to pick him up. Brilliant ball in from Mangando. It is an own goal because you watch the goalkeeper, Garcia. He's the one who technically gets it over the line. The lack of marking, the lack of rotation, the lack of responsibility inside the defensive 18-yard box for El Paso Locomotive has to be frustrating for Brian Clairhoward and company. You talk about from minute 1 to minute 97, it just seemed like Las Vegas Lights wanted a little bit more. This was the best opportunity for El Paso Locomotive. The timing is exquisite. Tomi Mushiban moves horizontally for a vertical ball into Justin Dillon, but the save of the game, Rosa Reina comes off his line. Really good goalkeeping.
A little bit later, it was Las Vegas looking for some insurance, and they weren't far away. Great save.
Just watch the body control, the athleticism. The ball's behind him to push it wide of the post, and that's how we end this game. Las Vegas Lights pick up a massive and their first win of the season.
Our stats presented by US Bank. It was pretty even on the stat sheet, just El Paso had no bite going forward.
They didn't really give it a threat in the final third. They did very well to get themselves in that final third, but what do you do when you're in around the goal? That's something that Brian Clairhoward needs to find the answer and needs to find it extremely quick. But for Dennis Sanchez, you build on this, the confidence from top to bottom, a professional performance.
Well, that will do it for our coverage tonight from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. It was two teams looking for their first wins of the season, but it's Las Vegas Lights who leave with the full complement of the three. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. It finishes Las Vegas Lights 1, El Paso Locomotive 0. Good night from Las Vegas.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.